Two, one. What is up, Travelheads? I'm your host, Brian from LifeOfBD, and I welcome you to Talk with BD. Today's guest is an 11-time national champion boxer and has his eyes set on Olympics. We're going to talk about his boxing career, how he's still training during COVID-19, and how he feels about coronavirus. Has it ruined his Olympic dreams? So without further ado, Amisael. I can't say your name still, aka Izzy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey Izzy, sorry, still can't pronounce your name right, but that's why I call you Izzy.
It's all good. It's close enough.
So how's the family?
They're good. My dad's right now working out there, cleaning. He's working in the quarantine, so cleaning all the businesses that are affected. And then my mom right now is out of work because of the quarantine. So. But we're managing. We're doing good.
What about your sister? Is she still like traveling, performing a lot, or she's back at home also?
So right now she's just chilling right now because all this stuff that's going on. We don't really want her to travel like that. So she's just been sitting here at home and just relaxing, waiting until all this passes up a little bit.
All right, makes sense. So, Izzy, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm an 11-time national champion of boxing since I was about 10 years old. I've been in the sport for a long time, just trying to make my goals come true, my dreams, and working hard, just getting ready.
So you've been an athlete all your life. Baseball, football, boxing. Why did you decide to double down on boxing?
It's just something that caught my eye. There's something about the sport just brings you to it. There's nothing like it. I mean, everybody says it's a brutal sport because you're basically hitting each other and trying to kill the other person in the ring, but at the same time, it's just like there's nothing like it.
Yeah, that rush, that adrenaline rush when you're about to fight. I've done an amateur match myself. It was more nervous than adrenaline rush for me. Like, it was so stressful.
Oh, yeah.
I still remember.
Yeah, to this day, you still get nervous. It's something it's never going to pass up. So.
Yeah, crazy. Like, you've gone through over 40 fights, right? And you still get that same feeling?
Still to this day.
But the thing about you is you never show any emotion. You always tell me, "Oh, I'm good. I'm like, "No, are you sure?" But
yeah.
So
having a clear mindset, that's all.
Yeah, your mindset is out there, man. So you had many injuries in the past while fighting, and you came back. Like, tell us about all those injuries, the dark times, and all that stuff you had to go through during your injuries, and to be able to overcome it and come back and just win.
About 3 years ago, I ruptured my Achilles tendon about 2 weeks before my sparring session, and that was probably the hardest time I've had with recovering everything. It just took me a while. It set me back a lot because I was a week away from fighting pro, starting my career off. And then it set me back a little bit. But at the same time, now that I think about it, like in today's time, I think it was actually a blessing because if I didn't get hurt the way I did, I probably would be in the position I am right now to be able to represent a whole country and be able to, fulfill my dream as an amateur boxer.
So we're talking about the Olympics. You were talking basically about the Olympics just then. So as a boxer, how do you get to the Olympics? How do you qualify for the Olympics?
So for the Olympics, you have first is your country. So if you're representing USA, you have a certain amount of tournaments you have to actually place first and then qualify at the main national. Once you qualify for that, after that, you have the international qualifier. So the international qualifier was supposed to be actually this week. But since all this coronavirus stuff is going on, we weren't able to go, and they got canceled for every sport, not just boxing. But those are the main things right now to qualify for the Olympics.
Okay. So are you representing the U.S. or Puerto Rico? Because I'm not sure right now.
I'm representing Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you're in America out here. What you doing?
Man.
Where are you based at right now? America or Puerto Rico?
Hey, my home is in the U.S., but my blood is Puerto Rican and Mexican. I got the Latino blood in me. I gotta represent them. It's been a while since I had a medal, so it's something I gotta do, you know.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. I've been there. I've been at your tournaments. It's crazy. I flew out to Tennessee with you, Abe, and stuff. Coach Abe. It was definitely a different experience. Never been to Tennessee. Never knew what to do in Tennessee, and to be able to go there and watch you fight. What was that? In 6 days, you had 4 fights against the number 2 or 3 in the world.
Yeah, 6 days, 4 fights.
Yeah, that was crazy. And you just came back from an injury not too long ago also. So, for me, it was stressful just being there. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not even fighting, but it was just stressful for me to be there with you because, it was a different experience for sure. Like, how did you feel, man?
It's just, it's stressful, when you come back from an injury like that, and it's hard to not think, oh, is this going to happen again? Or, so it takes like a big part of you to just push forward and keep going. And then at the same time, you're fighting against not just the best in your state, but the best in the nation. So it's like you have to perform at a certain level or else you're just going to stay behind. So it feels like every time you fight, you have to boost your level. You have to go up another level until you make it to the finals, which is like the hardest. The hardest, like it's like a boss match in Mortal Kombat. Like the hardest level.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think about as I'm seeing you fight. I remember your first fight that I got to witness in the tournament. What was it? You finished your opponent in 40 seconds. Was that 40 seconds, was it? Or a minute 40? It was the first round. That was crazy.
This was the first couple of seconds of the round. It was a crazy fight.
Yeah, I just remember. Yeah. Yeah. It made wave. Like, everyone, you got noticed right away, which was something we was trying to keep me on the low, but then right away, everyone knew who you were after that. Like, people already knew. They heard of you, you had your acolytes and everything to show about you. But then after that fight, everyone's like keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
It's just weird when you're shaking all the other coaches' hand. You're gonna fight their boy. It's weird. It's weird, but
yeah, the tension is high when you're around the person, like especially for a whole week. It's like even after you fight him, it's like, man, I gotta walk by this guy that I just pretty much put hands on him the other day, and now we gotta be cool. Like, it's definitely a lot in between us in those tournaments like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of testosterone in one building.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, COVID-19. What do you think about it?
I think it's something serious. I think that there's a lot of stuff going around right now, and a lot of people aren't taking it as serious as they should. I mean, I get some people want to have fun and this and that, but at the same time, it's a serious topic. There's a lot of people every day getting infected by this virus, and it's ending a lot of people's lives. It's crazy.
Yeah, word on that. How has it affected your training?
It's affected it pretty bad. I mean, at the moment, all we could really do is just run, but we have to run with a mask and then do things inside your house compared to going to a gym and actually sparring and hitting the bags and jump roping and not worrying about, okay, tomorrow I have to run again. There's a slight possibility I might get infected or something like that, So it's pretty tough.
Because your health.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that you have to really take into consideration when you're training, because people don't think about it, but all they need to do is take one deep breath where somebody coughed maybe 2 seconds ago, or somebody spit out their car, and that touches you, and then you're infected. So it's tough. You being a fighter, you have to train every day. So it's not like you have a an
Yeah.
opportunity to just sit down and relax and think about, or take time off. You have to train every day, especially when you're at a level where they could call you tomorrow and say, oh, this tournament is rescheduled for next week. And then you've been sitting for about 2 weeks and not training, and you're fighting the best in the world. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we need to stay working.
Yeah, it's hard to stay in fight shape if you don't have the right equipment and stuff. I get it. But luckily you have
Exactly.
your dad who keeps pushing you, right? Your dad's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
pushing you.
Yeah, he's pushing
He'll
me.
wake you up in the morning.
Yeah, we're doing what we have to do. It's just sometimes the conditions that we are under right now is just, it's hard to get to a gym and actually get or actually train or actually, it's a different type of work when you're locked inside your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, it's a hard time, especially being an athlete. You have to stay fully healthy. You have to be in fight shape, not in shape, but fight shape. That's what people don't understand. Fight
Exactly.
shape is a whole different level. Whether you have to train like 2, 3 times a day, 6, 7 days a week, depending on how your training regimen is. That's what people don't get. It's not just a 30-minute workout session at a Planet Fitness or 24 Fitness. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just staying healthy while doing all this. Can't really spar because you can't interact with people right now and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah, it's a crazy time to be an athlete right now too. But
Yeah, and it's a mental thing too. When you're training and you're in your head, you're like, okay, let me not touch this. Let me not do this. Let me disinfect this before I do it. Because it's
yeah,
tough. Like right now, there's a lot of people going around getting sick, and you don't want to be the next one, especially with how severe that virus is. Some people it does hit hard, and some people it doesn't. But you never know.
yeah. And you're so close to the Olympics. Like, do you see the Olympics still happening even with the coronavirus?
Well, right now, what they're talking about is postponing the Olympics so far. That's what's been in talk right now. But the way everything's going, and they're saying it might take a couple months for it to actually go over. A lot of people are thinking the Olympics this year might be canceled, just because of the time frame, and they have to have it at a certain time. And apart from that, everybody has to qualify for their sport too. So it'll take maybe like 3 or 4 months just for every sport to qualify. So it's tough. It's hard. We're seeing just waiting on what the Olympic Committee decides, and just keep training and try and be ready for whatever comes.
Yeah, and I see it as a thing where it's like you could lose a little motivation off of not beating because you don't know what's floating in the air. You don't know if you're fighting this next week. So how's your motivation? Like, are you still like training? Of course you're still training, but like how's that motivation aspect, the mental game?
I mean, we're motivated. It's just at the same time, your health is more important than the sport at the moment. So for us, it's more of a worry. Will I get infected while I'm traveling? Or because we're traveling to places that, they don't have the same resources as the United States or as Puerto Rico or as places like that. So we're going to Argentina, which is, doesn't have the same amount of resources, and it's a very poor country. So when you go to places like that, it's like there's a lot more possibility that you will get infected or some type of sickness is going to hit you, So it's a big scare. It's something that we take into consideration. Not just me, every athlete that I think is in any sport. So we just taking care of that. We're staying motivated though. We're ready to go. I mean, we were ready to go.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Fight shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're ready, man.
Yeah,
But
I'm ready to go.
if they do cancel the Olympics, do you see yourself turning pro in 2021?
I'll be pro this year. As soon as all this stuff calm down a little bit, or they find a cure for it or a vaccine for it, then we're straightforward. We're going pro. I can do the
After the
paperwork. The
Olympics,
paperwork,
what if they cancel the? Hmm?
the paperwork is done inside the house, so I don't gotta worry about that.
Ooh, got the
It's straight.
management doing all that for you. You're ready. You're ready. But yeah, so
Yeah, I'm ready to go pro.
Tennessee or
I've been waiting
California?
for it. Both. My plans are to fight in my home. So Tennessee and California has always been my home. So I know if I go to California, which I grew up in, so I have my whole fan base out there, my family, everybody supporting me. And if I fight in
Yeah.
Tennessee, I know I have also all my family and friends out here. So regardless of where I go, I know I'm gonna have my family and even just my Latin roots are gonna support me. You know, there's not a lot
Mm-hmm.
of
Yep.
Latino heavyweights like that out there, so
Yep.
we're going
I'm
for
making
it.
a wave like you too. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, haven't seen Cervante. Shout out to Cervante, your
Oh yeah.
boy. But yeah, just want to put that out there. But yeah, when all this is over, all the COVID-19 and everything lifts up, like, what's the first thing you're gonna do?
I just hit the gym again. Just start training, getting ready for whatever comes.
Yeah, I would say let's go grab a Nutella shake, but I'm not in Tennessee right now, and you're
Oh
in fight
yeah.
shape, so you can't be grabbing a Nutella shake. I do miss those Chattanooga Nutella shakes. I think about it all the
They're
time.
fire.
So I want to thank you for being a guest, and just let everyone know where we can find you, your social media, and everything.
Right. Yeah, my Instagram is at ambitious.ami, and then Facebook is
Mm-hmm.
Amisael Jimenez. And if anything, you guys can just hit me up on there if you have any more questions or if you want to get to know me a little bit better. I'm always there. Feel free to ask any questions.
Hey, I gotta add you on Facebook. I never even add you on Facebook. But yeah, all right. Thank you, Izzy. I'll see you around in Tennessee.